Hi, my name is Isaac Duek. I am a sophomore here at Babson and I want to apply to the Portugal program. My expected graduation is May 2028, and my possible concentrations, I haven't fully decided, but I'm in between business analytics and marketing. I am from Mexico City. However, I was born in the United States and I lived in San Diego, California for 10 years, and then I moved to Mexico City because of work for around 8 years that I lived there, and now I'm at Babson. One of the biggest reasons I want to apply to this program is because I decided, while I got accepted into fall, to come into January to travel the world and volunteer in an ambulance in Tel Aviv. This taught me really valuable lessons about being a fast thinker, mostly because I had to operate in another language that was not my first language, and I had no prior experience as a paramedic. So I kind of learned as I went. I listened to what the doctors told me. I took a lot of courses. I was able to visit Europe throughout these 6 months that I decided to come in January, and I met people and volunteers from all over the world, and I lived a completely different experience than I'm used to. And I believe these skills will translate perfectly into a trip to Lisbon. Since we'll be working with brands, maybe there will be like a language barrier, and odds are that most of the people going, they will be doing things that they have never done before. So I believe I believe this prior experience is going to give me this has given me is going to lay a good foundation about what we're going out to do in Lisbon. When working in a team, I would say that I'm very social, and I make most of my contributions socially. I've always been considered an extrovert, so I always love meeting new people, making new friends, and just networking as much as possible. And whether that be working with companies or in classes we're visiting, or in class or in city, I'm always the kid who's talking, trying to make new friends, and I believe this will translate great to Lisbon, especially since we travel with a lot of people that we don't know. I'm always up for meeting new people. I'm always up to joining new clubs, going to dinner with people I don't know. I've always been that kind of person. And talking a little about the cross-cultural experiences that I've had, last summer I backpacked across Europe. I backpacked across Europe with a bunch of my friends from home, and I visited multiple cities in Spain, in Italy, as well as in Athens, Mykonos, Amsterdam, you name it. And I engaged in all kinds of cultures, languages, and visited all kinds of places, ranging from museums in Spain to the David in Florence, the Colosseum, Acropolis in Athens, and places like beach clubs in Mykonos and the first Olympic stadiums in Athens. I visited all kinds of things, and all of these places taught me valuable lessons about cultures in ways I would have never expected. In terms of meeting people and welcoming strangers into my home, it was something I really didn't expect to see. Like, you would expect that when you go out to Europe, when you go out to these places, that everybody's going to be uptight, that everybody's going to treat you like a tourist, but quite the contrary. People would invite us into their homes, people would give us free food. It was a complete shift in my mind and cultures, and that's definitely something I brought back home with me, and it's something that I definitely brought to Babson, just always putting my best self out into the world, always opening my door to people who need it, and you never know the impact of your actions and the impact they can have on other people. So that's probably one of the biggest things I learned. Also, I believe it's worth pointing out that over the summer, I had an internship in a company called Bolsas con Sentido, or short name Bolsen, in Mexico. And the internship was all about sales. So we would bring people into the factory, talk about the manufacturing process, and basically just constantly think on your feet, always sell. And I believe this will translate great to Portugal, since we're going to be working with all kinds of businesses, taking all kinds of classes. I think one of my biggest strengths is being able to socialize and think on my feet. And in the internship, I managed to sell over 100,000 products across all my meetings, equaling for over $20,000 in profit for the company I worked for. So I believe the skills I have from my past internship and my ability to socialize and create plans, plus my diverse background traveling all over the world over the past year and going away from home and meeting new people, I believe that will translate perfectly into what we're going into Portugal to do, not just to meet the culture and live the experience of being in Europe, but also to consult, to think on your feet, to talk to people, to meet new people, and above all, to help businesses and take the classes how they're supposed to. So this is my video application for the week abroad at Portugal. My name is Isaac Duek. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the rest of my application. Bye.